have to be videos, or can they be like...
I'm not gonna edit out any of the sound on this. Hi, Justin.
What up?
Brussels, the city of too many languages, waffles, and an odd obsession with urination. Join us ignorant Americans as we attempt to figure out how this whole Europe thing works and maybe have some fun in the culture while we're at it. The first leg of our adventure in Brussels took place at the European Commission, and Madison is so excited to tell you about it.
In the migration lecture at the European Commission, we learned about the 4 pillars that were laid out by the Commission. The 4 pillars were reducing incentives for irregular migration, saving lives, protecting borders, a solid asylum policy, and a new legal policy for illegal migration. These were laid out to address root causes of migration, temporary relocation mechanisms, and reformed visa programs. She also addressed the 10 hotspots that were operational in Greece and Italy, and trying to ease the registration process and provide medical aid. We also learned about the EU Trust Fund for Africa that is giving 4.1 million euros as a migration partnership with Africa. Finally, we learned some of the legal pathways that have been developed, such as the modernization of visa policy, a reform of the EU Blue Card, and an EU action plan on integration. We also had a speaker on the future of Europe, including the internal and external threats to the EU. The external threats were Russia and China. Russia became a threat in 2014 after the annexation of Crimea, which has shifted the relationship for the EU. China has also become a threat in the South China Sea with the escalation of activity in the region. The internal threats are the health of the European democracy within member states, such as Poland and Hungary, that have had a development of a lack of democracy. I also attended the European Network Against Racism, which was an interesting discussion about various topics on anti-racism in the EU. One thing that I learned was about the Roma people and how they're not registered in any kind of government database. Therefore, they're unable to go to a homeless shelter in Brussels. This is why there's so many Roma people that are homeless in Brussels.
Now for a little reflection on the speakers from Emily.
I overall really enjoyed the trip to Brussels. Some of the speakers were more valuable time spent than others. However, I personally really appreciated the female speaker from the communications department that we had at the EU Commission. She kind of just talked about how she relays information to journalists and how she takes care of all the press releases for the Commission. And I found that job specifically to be very interesting because that's more along the lines of things that I'm interested rather than solely policy-based positions. And while some people had mixed opinions on her speech, I really enjoyed it because she talked a bit about the process that it took for her to get to the job that she was in today, and the way that her personal life kind of played a role in that. And I really enjoyed that as a woman myself who really wants to have a successful and fulfilling career. There seems to always kind of be an external pressure on women to choose either family or career. And a lot of times women who really want a successful career feel extremely pressured to put off having a family, put off finding a partner. And I don't think that that's necessarily fair. And I really liked hearing that she was able to move all across the world from, Canada to France to Belgium to the Netherlands and back to Belgium and do that all with her partner. So I thought that that was definitely one of the most valuable experiences out of the whole trip. Some people didn't necessarily appreciate that, but I found that to be extremely valuable. And just personal information can really go a long way and stick with you rather than just policy and kind of the nitty-gritty of every institution.
Now that we're finally done with lectures, we can hit the streets of Brussels and see what there is to see. There's the Royal Palace, the Atomium, this church that also serves as an outdoor bathroom, some art, some more art, a statue of a dog peeing, more art, and the very beautiful Grand Place. It would be the perfect town center if only they didn't mess up the center of the arch and make everyone with OCD go crazy. But arguably our favorite location was the Delirium Cafe, which serves a world record of over 2,000 types of beer. Justin has pled the fifth on our experiences at Delirium, so needless to say it was a worthwhile cultural immersion. We also ran into a bunch of performers, like this rapper filming a wild music video,
My pregnant guy.
and these street dancers. Finally, nothing screams Belgian culture like doing karaoke to Bohemian Rhapsody.
It's time tomorrow. Carry on.
Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best.